cosecant and also secant graph, okay, we have to identify only. We don't have to sketch. No need to sketch, but you need to identify. Right? Okay, hopefully it is clear. And this is the predict properties for tangent and cotangent. For tangent, we have pi. And here, cotangent also we have pi. Cosecant, we have 2 pi, same thing as secant. Secant is 1, of course. Okay, now this is the main part for today's lecture, insyaAllah. So we want to sketch the graph of a sine and cosine curve. Okay, here we have this formula, y equals to a sine bx, and to get the amplitude, we just take the modulus of a, okay, modulus of a, and then to find the period, which is for one complete cycle, we have t equals to 2 pi over absolute value of b, or b here, somehow we always make it positive. Okay, b here is always positive. For example, if you have y equals to 2 cos negative 3x, for example. Okay, so for this negative 3x, we need to use the even odd property for cosine. So we can write this is 2 cos 3x. So now your b is positive. Okay, your b is positive. Use the even odd property. So here we use the even property. Use the even property. And the next is, if you have y equals to 4 sine negative 3x. So your b here is negative, right? Okay, so we will take this negative to be outside. So we have here, it will be negative 4 sine 3x. This is how we are going to make your b is positive. Okay, so that you can calculate for the period. Okay, now we want to look at example number 1. Get ready with your pen, pencil and your paper. You are given y equals to 4 cos 3x. Y equals to 4 cos 3x. So your amplitude here is absolute value of 4, which give you 4. Okay, and then for its period, it is 2 pi over your b here is 3. So the period is 2 pi over 3. Then for the length of subinterval, okay, so for the subinterval, we have to look back at the original graph of cosine. Okay, this is the graph of cosine. For the subinterval, it is coming from this one. Okay, look here carefully. Okay. So this is the first subinterval. And this is the second subinterval. Here we have 4 subinterval. Third subinterval, and this is the fourth subinterval. So for one complete cycle, okay, from 0, 1 up to 2 pi 0, we have 4 subinterval. We have here 4 subinterval, and we have to know that the length here is 1 period, or which is your t just now. So that's why for t here, to calculate the length for each subinterval, we have to take t divided by 4. T divided by 4 is the length of each subinterval. Is the length Okay, we continue with the previous example. Just now we start. Okay, here we have the period is 2 pi over 3, so we have to divide by 4. So what will you get? Okay, please calculate to find subinterval. 2 pi over 3 divided by 4 times 1 over 4, so that you'll have 2 pi over 12. So we have here pi over 6. So the length for each subinterval is pi over 6. Okay, reason. Okay, so now we want to look at the start point. Since here there is no shifting to the left or to the right, so for cosine we have to start from amplitude 4, positive side. So we start here. This is cosine. And then for the first interval here, we have key point number 1, key point number 2. Next, we have here. Before that, we need to find what is the value for the first scale here. So we need to start at, we have here start at 0, 0 and then plus pi over 6 equals to pi over 6. Then continue plus pi over 6 equals to 2 pi over 6 plus pi over 6 equals to 3 pi over 6 and so on. 4 pi over 6 plus pi over 6 equals to 4 pi over 6. Okay, so we simplify, then you'll have this is pi over 6. Okay, this is pi over 6 and then we have 2 pi over 6 which is pi over 3. Okay, you can continue to draw. So we have, this is pi over 6. Pi over 6. We start at 0. Pi over 6. This is pi over 3. And then 3 pi over 6. This is pi over 2. And this is 2 pi over 3. Okay, we stop at 2 pi over 3. We start at 0 and it will end at 2 pi over 3. Then we put in the scale 0, pi over 6. This is pi over 3. Next, pi over 2. Next, 2 pi over 3. Okay, over one period. We draw over one period. And then we plot the points. For the amplitude 4, we have at 0, 4. 0, 4, the 5 key points will be 0, 4. The next will be pi over 6, 0. Next, pi over 3, negative 4. Pi over 3, negative 4. Next, pi over 2, 0. 2, 0. And lastly, we have at 2 pi over 3, 4. Then you can continue to sketch the graph. Sambunglah ya. This one. Okay, and then we extend. This is, okay, we extend a little bit to show that the domain, it can be all real numbers. It can proceed and then label the 5 key points. 5, 3, 4. And here we have pi over 3, negative 4, pi over 2, pi over 6, 0. Okay, Alhamdulillah. And make sure you label where is the amplitude, the amplitude, and also label its period. What is amplitude? So this is for one period. This is t equals to 2 pi over 3 to this point. This is a period, and for its amplitude, di sini this is your A. Amplitude which equals to 4. Okay, then this is for the first graph, example 1. Y equals to 4 cos 3x. Okay, next, you can complete example number 2. Okay, you can complete example number 2. Y equals to